Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing, starting off with nice conditions this morning with plenty of sun, and overall should see a nice day ahead with some fairly mild temperatures. We'll see rain chances moving in the area as we get late in the day tomorrow and into the overnight time frame. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have high pressure in control over the local region. Off to our west, we have this area of low pressure that's pretty much going to track along the stationary boundary off to the northeast. And south of that, will bring a cold front through our region late tomorrow, and that's going to bring that shower activity into our area, possibly a thunderstorm with that. In addition, we'll see winds ramping up ahead of it, as well as some strong winds behind the front, bringing in some slightly cooler air to end the week. If we take a look at the current conditions this morning, just a few high clouds around 25,000 feet. Winds are calm to light and variable. Temperature 39 degrees. Our relative humidity is at 82%. Take a look at the current visible satellite. We can see just some light high clouds streaming through the region. Additional high clouds off to the west. We'll see that slowly building into our region as we move through the day today and into the overnight, ahead of that next system pushing into the area. If we look at the short-term high-resolution model, look at the next couple days. Again, nice conditions expected today. Fairly mild temperatures into the low 60s and staying dry. No precipitation or lightning expected. And wind should be fairly light, but we will see an onshore component to the wind, so it's going to keep things from getting too mild, but nonetheless, looking at a nice day. As mentioned, increasing high clouds as we move through the day today, becoming broken in the upper levels, moving into the overnight time frame. With that slight onshore breeze continuing through the overnight, it's going to keep the low-level moisture up, as well as potentially build in some low-level clouds coming in off the water as we move through the early morning hours of Thursday. So we will see a slight chance for some reduced visibilities or ceilings with that low-level moisture and low cloud over the water, possibly creeping into the area. Tomorrow, we'll start to see those winds increasing, becoming more southerly as we move through the day. Overall, should stay dry through much of the working hours, if not all of the working hours tomorrow. Just seeing some breezy conditions with a good chance of seeing wind advisory as we move through the day, particularly later in the day. Will stay, again, mild overall. Could see temperatures a bit cooler if the low cloud lingers around the area during the daytime hours, but do expect some of that to break up. Keeping things mild with that southerly breeze, and then moving later in the day, again, as mentioned, should stay dry most of the day, but passing the 1700 local time frame, that's there and after is when we'll start to see rain showers becoming likely, as you can see here on the simulated reflectivity. That pushes through some pockets of yellow being simulated here, indicating a chance for some embedded heavier showers, possibly even about a 20% chance of seeing a thunderstorm embedded with some of this activity. But continuing to see breezy conditions as this pushes through, and then the boundary itself will push through for the early morning hours of Friday, likely seeing precip coming to an end by 2 or 3 a.m., and those winds shifting out of the northwest and really cranking up, where we could see wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, and that will continue as we move through the day on Friday. Friday looks to be more seasonable, much cooler than what we'll see for the next 2 days, and keeping those winds elevated, making things feel a bit chillier. Again, continuing with those winds potentially up to 40 miles per hour for those wind gusts as we move through the day on Friday. So looking at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, again, quiet conditions today. Nice conditions with mostly sunny conditions to partly cloudy late in the day and into the evening. We'll see that slight onshore breeze out of the east, peaking around 7 to 12 knots. High temperature peaking around 62 degrees, and just nice conditions, green conditions. As we go into the evening, we'll see a continued increase in those high clouds, and we'll start to pick up a yellow risk for those reduced ceilings and visibilities, again with that slight chance for some mist around the area with that low level moisture, as well as the potential of a low cloud deck off the water creeping inland with that onshore breeze continuing. We'll see those winds start shifting more southeasterly to more southerly as we get into the start of the day on Thursday. Tides are running slightly above normal. And Thursday we'll see, again, dry through much of the day, partly to mostly cloudy, eventually becoming overcast as that system continues to approach. We'll see breezy conditions, so an orange risk for that wind advisory criteria as we get later in the day, again past that 16 to 1700 local time frame. That's when we'll start to see those rain showers moving in, with rain becoming likely and a slight chance of a thunderstorm as well. Otherwise, mild high once again around 62 degrees. Again, that could see a little bit cooler if we do end up with some additional low clouds sticking around through the daytime hours, but we should see those breaking up with some sun peeking through some of those high clouds. But we are looking at a red risk for precip and yellow risk for lightning, and yellow for reduced ceilings and visibilities, again as that shower activity pushes through after the 16 to 1700 local time frame. Thursday evening, we continue to see those rain showers through the first part of the evening, again likely wrapping up between 2 to 3 a.m. Friday morning. Slight chance of a thunderstorm for the first part of the evening, but then that chance should reduce swiftly as we move through the overnight time frame. Otherwise, we'll see clouds starting to break as we get into the start of the day on Friday. And again, behind that front, we'll see windy conditions with those peak gusts getting up to 40 miles per hour and some cooler air moving through behind the front with a low expected around 38 degrees. So again, red for precip, red for those winds that are above 25 knots, so likely seeing wind advisory, and then yellow for lightning early and yellow for reduced ceilings and visibilities with that shower activity. Going into Friday, we'll continue to see that red risk for winds that are above 25 knots, likely seeing the wind advisory sustaining through much, if not all, of the day on Friday. Overall, mostly cloudy, and we'll start to see clouds decreasing, particularly as we get later in the day. Again, windy with continued gusts up to 35 to 40 miles per hour through the day on Friday, and much cooler with a high around 53 degrees. That's going to wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.